Morning, afternoon. It is the morning. Nice. How you doing? Welcome into the stream. My name is Graham Day, and this is the man that we call Mr. Bib. Alright. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. This is... sorry, I'm speaking pretty fast, because what I'm about to say is this is a dollop scoop. So for anyone that's been here before, the scoop is not only an ice cream reference because it's a scoop of ice cream, but we bring you the scoops of news. And then occasionally we do a dollop, which is a smaller scoop, or a scoop where there's only one of us, so you're only getting half as much. It's a dollop rather than a scoop. Whereas, yeah, today we've got places to be and things to do. So we are flying through things today. We've only got a couple of stories to go through, plus your free game Friday roundup. So if you're interested in some video games and you want them for free, then stick around. We'll tell you how you can get those at the end of the show. But before we do that, we will give you our thoughts and our impressions on some of the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games. Yeah. We are live on twitch.tv/ice cream. So if you are in the chat, please do feel free to get involved, because the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, and all the other places. So please do feel free to get involved if you are in the stream, because those people are watching on demand, but they can't get involved like you guys can. Before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder that Monday coming will be Loot Drop Day. So if you haven't subbed to the channel, you could do what 12head did just 12 minutes ago and drop a Prime or a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 or a Tier 3, whatever sub, or get gifted if you get very lucky. Anyone that has subbed on the first Monday of every month will be included in a giveaway. Don't know what this month's prize is. Last month was it? It
was a hat that I've reached out to Lecce for a few times, and he's still not got back to me.
Well,
it's still in a box in the office, waiting to go, because I still don't have his address.
It might be on tomorrow because of the Aussie time crossover. So I will. If he is, I'll mention it then.
Just poke him again for us.
Yeah. But if you want a prize, then feel free to jump in to the loot drop, which is you need to be subbed by 3 p.m. on Monday UK time. Basically, that's the gist of it. Nice. How's tricks, Mr. Bib?
Yeah, fantastic, Graham. Obviously, we talked about it in the pre-show, but we are just so busy with work at the moment. The deadlines seem to be getting tighter for all the content and work that we're doing for our clients. So yeah, it seems to be at 150% at the moment.
Yeah, on that, actually, I'm going to just interrupt. If you haven't seen it, I put a link in the Discord earlier on I was exactly 1 month ago, I was in Sweden, in Gothenburg. We were doing some stuff, and I've been vague about it because we haven't released anything on it. But we have. Today, the first video from that has gone up. So we were supporting Konami, who are publishing for a Swedish developer called Firewalk Studios, and they are releasing a game called Deliver at All Costs. We've done a few bits for those over the last few months, but this one required us to go to Sweden to film some developer diaries. So we aren't on camera, we're providing the behind camera editing, production, and so on of these dev diaries. Anyway, if you're interested in video game dev diaries, and if you're interested in seeing creative content, I would say that is the best video content that we have produced as Jelly Media, in terms of the overall package, the filming quality, the location sourcing, the post-production and editing process. Like, everything about it is value added. Even though it's only an indie title that's obviously been supported by a AAA publisher, it's definitely AAA level of content. It's exceptional. So if you do have some time spare, it's only 8 minutes long, I think, is Dev Diary 1. There's one every month. Do check it out. Bigger J, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Anyway, for now, let's jump into the split screen. Whoop. Boop. Hi. Have you seen the video?
I haven't yet. No.
It's very good. There's a few bits in there. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, when you make videos, you have to do things like take out people's faces, like blur people or number plates or things like that. You don't always have to, but that's sometimes something that has to be done and considered. So there's been a few bits like that, but there's some cool bits that most people won't notice, but we put a few bits in there, like almost like Easter eggs for us, that are just cool little brand things and so on. Some of which, so when Bibby's watched it, I'll ask him if he saw bits and see what it is. I might mention to some of you guys in the Discord if you're interested. !Discord. Tito's already put in the chat. Nice. But for now, let's start talking about games. Mr. Bib.
Yes.
You the biggest fan in the world of a game called Concord?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to ride on one. Never got to play this either.
God
so,
damn.
I mean, that's 2 for 2 at the moment.
Both decommissioned. Sheesh. Okay, we'll jump into this article. This is written by Matt Wales over at Eurogamer. Sony shuts down Concord developer Firewalk Studios. The game will remain permanently offline. Mobile developer Neon Koi is also closed. So if anyone didn't see this, Concord was a game that really shouldn't have been released. It didn't really serve a purpose. PlayStation just pushed ahead with it. It wasn't a bad game. Let me just stress that as well. All this is secondhand comments. I'd never played the game myself, but the general consensus for anyone that's played it, it's not a bad game. It actually plays really well. It just doesn't really need to be there. It's a live service game in a world full of live service games that's not offering anything new. They just wanted a piece of a pie that is very difficult to get hold of. It didn't work, so they killed it within 2 weeks. It was a shame, but killing it was the right thing to do because not bringing it to life was the first right thing to do. So it's like one of those, the best time to delete this would have been right after you post it. The second best time to delete this is now. It's like that sort of situation, but for video game development. Anyway, they got rid of it. But the changes keep going as the developer Firewalk Studios has been closed too. So I'll jump into the article. Firewalk Studios, the Sony-owned developer behind ill-fated PlayStation shooter Concord, has been shut down and the game will remain permanently offline, despite earlier suggestions it could return. Sony's mobile-first developer Neon Koi has also been closed. Sony confirmed Firewalk's closure in a post on its website, sharing an email from Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Herman Hulst sent to the company's employees earlier today. Quote, we consistently evaluate our games portfolio and status of our projects to ensure we are meeting long and near-term business priorities, Hulst wrote. As part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen SIE studio business, we have had to make a difficult decision relating to two of our studios, Neon Koi and Firewalk Studios, expanding beyond PlayStation devices and crafting engaging online experiences alongside our single-player games are key focal areas for us as we evolve our revenue streams, Hulst added. Quote, we need to be strategic, though, in bringing our games to new platforms and recognise when our games fall short of meeting player expectations. Certain aspects of Concord were exceptional, Hulst continued, but others did not land with enough players, and as a result, we took the game offline. We've spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options, and after much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. The PvP shooter genre is a competitive space that's continuously evolving, and unfortunately, we did not hit our targets with this title, Hulst added. We will take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities to discover future growth in this area. We'll stop there. We don't really need to go through any more of that. So back to the split screen. Sony shuts down Concord, and then the developer Firewalk Studios. Game permanently gone. What are your thoughts, Mr. Bibb?
Yeah, I mean, again, we just seem to be going through another huge wave of redundancies, studio closures, and things like that. And this is just one in a long line of them at the moment. I did see, it might have even been Chris Scullion mentioning yesterday that you don't get a second chance in video games anymore. There's never really that much of a redemption arc. Obviously, there has been exceptions to it with like Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky, but in terms of a game that's, I mean, I wouldn't even say that this was genuinely a commercial failure because it never got a chance to thrive in any way, shape, or form. Like it lived and died within 2 weeks. It might have even been a week.
It was already offline within 2 weeks. I think it was just over a week, but not quite even two. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how are you meant to judge anything with that amount of time? Like, there's so many different variables now in this generation of video games. And I'm talking across the board, not just of a system software stuff. I'm talking about the whole collective, whether or not it's playing, promoting, advertising, creating. You can live and die by the promotional material that you're putting out, or just existing within a console space. And that sounds quite vague, and I'll try to be a little bit more specific. But people will, if you want to bring out a game for PlayStation. You're already alienating the Nintendo and Xbox fans straight off the bat. So your pool of players is predominantly smaller, obviously, because you're just catering for one market. Obviously, this ended up getting released on PC as well, so they still have the Steam marketplace there, which is the Steam charts is what kept on getting put about when there was like 23 people playing it at one time. But yeah, it's. I'm trying to find the words to describe where I'm going with it, but the fact that they haven't really had that much of an advertising campaign with it, like genuinely, I didn't know this game existed until I think it was you mentioned it to me that the studio that the game was being taken offline.
Yeah. The thing is like we actually covered the game, but you didn't know it existed, and that's kind of what speaks about it. We had a state of play or a conference or something like that, and it was in it. And we didn't remember it was in it. So jumping into the chat then, make a very generic Graham in a Graham? That's me. I'm Graham. Make a very generic game in a crowded market is a Ubisoft move, not Sony. Only thing I don't get is going ahead with it, but doing absolutely no marketing. That I don't get. Many Sony fans didn't even know the game was coming. Doomed to fail, but bad marketing by a first-party company is criminal. I mean, you're an Xbox fan. You should know that, right? Right? I'm only joking. No, banter aside. You are right, 100%. I heard, and I don't know if this is true, I heard it last night driving home. The Kind of Funny Games podcast mentioned that I think it was 24,000 copies sold or something is one of the stats that's been thrown around. Let's just assume, take it at face value, that is true. 24,000 for a first-party PlayStation title. No wonder there's only 23 people playing it on PC. If only 24,000 copies worldwide have been sold, then that is madness. You times that number by 4, and you have the amount of concurrent players on PUBG any hour kind of thing. And that's people around the world owning it in total. That is not a development issue. That is a marketing promotion issue. So even if this game was the best game in the world, you're relying on some sort of viral breakout, one creator to pick it up and go, do you know what, this is fucking phenomenal, and you run with it and you get your PUBG moment, your DayZ moment, or your Fortnite moment sort of stuff. But that doesn't happen when you release a first-party, fully-fledged game and kill it within a week. There is no possible way for that to happen. So it's almost like they needed to put this out as an excuse to squash the studios. For me, I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's so badly managed throughout that it stinks of an ulterior motive. I don't believe there is one, but it's that comically bad that's what it seems like.
Well, they're given a couple of buttons and some pocket fluff to be able to advertise this game. Now, again, as I was alluded to before, we live in a generation now where social media plays such a big part in video game promotion, whether or not that is digitally on a billboard in the centre of London or Manchester, or top-tier content creators that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, obviously.
Twitch.tv/Cool.
Of followers or some sort of social media presence, and you're paying them to be able to stream this game for you. That could have happened. I highly doubt it, but that I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that never happened because I didn't see it. I don't want to say I live on Twitch, but I see a lot of Twitch content going out. I see a lot of YouTube content going out, and the only thing that I saw going out of this game is people reporting that the game ended up dying. Now, obviously, we work in video games. We work at a digital marketing agency that can handle influencers and pulling together streaming content for brands. And I don't believe that this ended up happening in any way, shape, or form. There's just all the roads pointing towards this game going out. 16, 17 different avenues of promotion essentially got left out with this one. I don't think, again, you mentioned it before, I don't think this was a bad game. It looked okay. It looked like just another hero shooter. Are we overwhelmed with them at the moment? That's why this didn't last. Is it like, I mean, the new, I keep on forgetting what the Marvel game,
Marvel Rivals.
Called. Marvel Rivals.
It's fun. Just jumping in on that bit. I was the exact same episode of the Canon 40 podcast I was listening to. There was two bits that you mentioned there. I don't know anyone, like any large creators or anything, that were commissioned to play this game or any exposure bits like that. Blessing from Kind of Funny mentioned that he played it. I assume he played it on his own channel because I didn't know. But then again, I don't watch all of Kind of Funny's content. I only really get the podcast stuff from them. So he's the only large, air quotes, creator that I know that has played this, and he said he understands why this game is dead and Marvel Rivals is releasing in December and is doing pretty well, even though he would go as far as saying in playtests and so on, if you put the two games side by side, this is actually a better game. He says because this is a saturated market, that there's not really any need for this game because it doesn't do anything different. It's not bringing something that people want and need, whereas Marvel Rivals is in a very heavily saturated market. But Overwatch 2 has failed. People, like, it was like rats from a sinking ship. Overwatch was tectonic in its impact on the world. Do you know, actually, what game was it? I did see a comment on Apex. Apex Legends are on to like season 76 or something. It's quite high. It's like the 23rd, 24th season or something like that in 5 years. And one of the EA guys said, from our research, live service games can often have a massive pop on number one, but then when they release the sequel, they don't get the same pop. And that instantly made me think of Overwatch 2 because all the user base is installed, they know how the world works and so on, they're happy with the world, and then they change the world. So people go, do you know what? Okay, I've been playing the same thing for 5 years anyway. This might be the time where I jump off. And it instantly resonated with me. Obviously, playing PUBG, I'm thinking, like, PUBG needs a PUBG 2 sort of moment to, like, pop. But I've said on stream a bunch of times, that could kill it. That could be the moment where people go, do you know what? I'm just not going to install the different one because something's not going to carry over, be it skins like we've had in Call of Duty a couple of years ago, or be it changing game modes like we've had in Overwatch and so on. And you could have that Overwatch moment where you want the hero shooter and it's just not as good. So you throw a Marvel Rivals into the mix, which is that hero shooter, but you're not just throwing hero shooters in, you're throwing in Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man. Fucking, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, nice.
That people care about.
Yeah. Whereas
that is your reason to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the abilities that each of those characters have, maybe in your favorite Marvel film, they're being portrayed within the game as well, so you get to act that cool moment out.
So, like, this isn't satisfying a market that's got a gap in it. Because imagine if Fortnite just went, do you know what? We're creating Fortnite 2, and Battle Royale is only going to be teams of 8. Like, we just think it's going to be a better team dynamic if we make it more of a social experience, and we're actually making the games, I know they're about 15 minutes, but we want them to be like 40-minute, 8-player team games. So everything else is the same, but, you know, and some of your skins and stuff will go over. We're also going to include some story mode stuff, and you're like, Wobbles! Alrit! Thank you for the raid! Hi. We're currently talking about... You were talking about this on your To Put It Bluntly podcast that I was listening to last night, actually, in between. So I listened to 2 podcasts on my way home last night. One of them was To Put It Bluntly episode 9 with Annie Dunwood from... I can't remember. It's got a V in it. I want to say vitamin, but it's not vitamins. But you know what? Wobbles could tell you. Ask him. Anti-venin, there we go. Cheers, Cameron. So I was listening to that last night, and I was also listening to Kind of Funny's podcast, and both touched on different bits. So that your podcast was from a couple of weeks ago, whereas the Kind of Funny one was from like the night before. So I got like almost like the full spectrum of this story. So yes, what bit was I on about then? Where specifically was I? Oh, that was it. It was so. Marvel Rivals is launching in a market where one of the biggest competitors in Overwatch has faltered and left a massive gap, and it's bringing a whole new IP that people recognise and touch with, whereas Concord is already a crowded market because Fortnite is doing well. Apex isn't doing as well, but it's still doing well. You've got PUBG in there doing well. You've got Call of Duty in there doing well, and all sorts of other live service games doing well. And this doesn't bring Hulk and Iron Man and Captain America and any of that sort of stuff with it. This isn't bringing anything in there. Marvel Rivals did. So yeah, you just going, please stop your conversations. I know you're in a big group full of friends and stuff, but we're worth being friends with as well. All right, okay. I'm interested. What cool things are you bringing? Nothing. I just want you to be my friend and be friends with me. No, you're all right, mate. We've got friends already, but cheers anyway. Turn back to your friends group and carry on playing. That's kind of what they did. Awkward. Trying to break into live service is pointless. It's not. It's just incredibly difficult. It's like
you have to be unique. You have to be really, really unique. I feel like now,
and that's not enough as well. Most of the time. There's
so many different live service games out there now, across different genres. Obviously, live service doesn't necessarily just have to be in the FPS category, although it does tend to live there quite often. But you have things like FIFA now. EAFC that has live service content in there, which is it's fantastic to be honest, because there's always
just to point
something
out,
to do.
Season 2 dropped last night. Shit, proper shit. Like season 1 was decent. Like for anyone that doesn't know, it's like any other game. You got like a battle pass sort of track that you run through, and you'll get a pack, and you'll get some cosmetics, and you'll get a good player or whatever. This season pass is just built on shit packs and loan players, so you're not even building out your team. It's you get a player that you get for 4 days. Not like even a set number of games. As soon as you got him, they're gone in 4 days. Oh, great. I unlocked him on a Thursday, but I'm not actually back until Tuesday, so he's gone by the time I get there. Wonderful. Let's go. So, loans are shit. That's not even technically a loan, but they are. They are shit. I don't disagree. I keep them in my club, like whereas Nietzsche will bin them straight away. I keep them in my club so I can use them. But for someone that's investing that amount of time, they are shit. Like, they are shit as a reward. They are not bad as a function. They definitely have a place as a function, but as a reward like that, that should be a daily login bonus. Oh, log in 3 days, we'll give you a loan fucking Cafu or something like that. It shouldn't be, you've grinded to level 18 on the pass, you get a loan Jack Grealish. Not asked. I've got Jack Grealish anyway. I'll keep his normal one, thanks me. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we were talking. I kind of took Bibby's point and went on a tangent because of Wobble's chat. God damn it, Wobbles. Yeah. Live service games are ridiculous to get into, but the benefits of doing so are so exponentially massive that that's why people keep doing it. That said, there was a really good comment. I know we're moving off of this article, but there's a really good comment from, what was he called? Sean Layden, the PlayStation boss, that VGC keep like releasing comments from an interview he did around Gamescom, where he was saying it's because of the amount of money it costs to make video games. That relates to the amount of money that's there to be lost in video games. Yeah. So people only do sure bankers or gamble and hit for the fence, which often miss. We need to get to the part where we re-establish AA games. Not everything needs to be AAA. Let's get the 10 to 15 hour experiences that aren't featuring celebrity voiceovers, that aren't developed for 7 years, because that's cost-effective video game production, and you can roll it out a bit more often. And if it fails, then you don't lose 400 million like Concord cost. And I agree with that. Then that did get me thinking, like he was the one that left, like, not unceremoniously, but incredibly quickly. Like a few years ago, before, was it Jim Ryan? Like, he just kind of, he came up and then gone. He was gone super fast, which then made me think, like, it was never any ill will, because obviously you never get that at that sort. We thank you for your time. He's just had to move on, even though it came out of nowhere and it happened really quick, and we don't talk about why. But like, I wonder if, because he's made that sort of comment a bunch of times. I wonder if he didn't like their mantra of moving to live service. So I was like, if the future, because they were like, we've got 13 live service games over the next 5 years. I wonder if he thought, do you know what? Fuck that. I don't want to be on this ship. I'm the guy that's like spearheaded the God of Wars and the Last of Us and stuff like that. Not spearheaded, but you know what I mean? He was involved in all that stuff. I wonder if he thought, I'm going to jump off the ship before people start seeing that shit, and I don't want that tacked onto me. And now we sat there going, we should do AA games, and we should have more single player games, and we should this, that, and the other. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough of Concord. Let me just drop out the discussion now. Comments. It's a high risk, but the return can be monumental. Yeah, exactly. I honestly adore Silent Hill 2, and it's only 10 to 15 hours. Such a good game, and it's not 40 hours, plus DLC, plus a season pass. Yeah, like, I played, because I lost my internet, fucking thing, I played Detroit Become Human over the weekend, which was about 12 hours. Exceptional game. If you've never played that game, incredible. Really, really, really good. Obviously, it's same people as Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and so on. So you kind of expect that, but yeah, very, very, very good. Anyway, a game that is very, very, very good. I assume I've never played it. Bibby will play it. He's probably playing it right now. This is just what he's like. Is it on Game Pass? I don't know. Is it on Game Pass, Tito? You're the Xbox boss. You tell me. While I tell you about Ed Nightingale's latest article at Eurogamer, which is about Pokémon TCG Pocket, which is out now on mobile. I cannot believe it. Yeah. So I don't know if Bibby has any intent of playing this game, but Bibby has streamed the Pokemon Trading Card game on. Are you playing it?
Mate, it was installed the day it came out.
There you go. Bibby has streamed Pokemon TCG on Twitch on ICU before as well, so that's the reason where that came from. But yeah, quickly into the article. Pokemon TCG Pocket, the digital trading card game, is available now on mobile. It's free to start and allows players to split open booster packs to acquire digital versions of popular Pokemon trading cards and then compete in battles. The game was first announced at the Pokemon Presents event in February and is now finally available to download across really good phones and Android devices. Sorry, it says iOS. Sorry. No, yeah, there you go. One of the biggest draws are the immersive cards that allow players to dive into the artwork to explore the worlds within them. Is that what this is from? I've seen people clipping this stuff, and I love that sort of shit where you see.
Well, as you're reading this, let me show you the card that I packed last night.
Oh, let me go, Big Bib. Bring this up.
Let me find it. So at the moment, there's only three packs of cards that are in the game so far. So I'd love to be able to show this on screen, but so those are the 3 cards that we've got so far. 3 sets of packs. So you got Mewtwo.
Oh, there we go. It was focusing on Michael Meehan card behind you, but we're good now. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, you got Charizard, Mewtwo, and Pikachu. They're the only 3 card types that we've got in the moment. There's only like one generation. What's this one called? Genetic Apex is the ones that we've got at the moment. There's only 3 types of them. So last night, obviously, but opening packs. Let me find it. Here we go. Have a look at this. Best card in the pack, the genetic Mewtwo one, right? Is it going to work?
There we go. Mewtwo X. Oof.
Yeah, the Mewtwo X is the best card that's in there. If I keep hold of it, it should start to move.
Nope.
And then play a video, but I don't think it is.
It did. It kind of swipe down when you first touch it. I don't know if that stopped it from doing it, but
that's not doing it now. Oh, tapping and holding the card to
fake news.
It should start to play a video, but it doesn't. It's not playing a video. But it basically goes inside the card and then starts to show you like the lore of Mewtwo, and that's him obviously busting out of the tube thing that he was made in.
I've seen it before really with like I'll just jump back into the news article bit whilst looking at that. But I've seen it before with Pikachu, like the traditional Pikachu card, where it was like a weird, badly drawn Pikachu just sat on a rock. But like it kind of like goes into the card and then goes around behind Pikachu and looks at all the other stuff and then comes back out and gives you the shot. Badass. I just thought it was just someone's done some creative art. I didn't realize that was actually part of the game, so that's pretty cool.
So yeah, at the moment, I genuinely thoroughly enjoy playing this game, and I haven't seen anywhere that you can actually buy anything apart from the battle pass.
Let me jump into that. However, while free to start, there are microtransactions and multiple currencies in the store to acquire time boosters and other items, allowing players to open more packs. Poke Gold costs 79 pence for 5 pieces, or up to 79.99 for 500 pieces. This can be used to buy bundles of items costing from 45 to 115 pieces. That said, there are various freebies each day, so if you are willing to wait, you still have access to a decent chunk of experience without paying for it so far, at least. So I'll stop there. We'll jump back over into the El Splito Screeno. But yeah, anyone interested in playing Pokemon TCG on mobile, Bibby has unceremoniously, definitely not shameless, self-promoted his own friend code into the chat if anyone would be interested. Do you know, if anyone, I realise this is on Twitch, so this is I'm going to copy Bibby's friend code and put it into the title on screen, just in case anyone does watch this on YouTube. What's up? You got it working?
I think so. There you go. See if I can cover my face.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, but
But it starts to move through.
okay, that's cool. I thought it was just going to be parallax movement. I didn't think it was going to go through into the actual artwork as like full 3D render. This is cool. Good
So
art
it
style.
only happens with certain type of cards. Obviously, like the biggest and best ones that are in there, that's where it happens, and it should pop back out now to your actual card.
See, I even love like when you get someone will take a Pokemon card, like a hollow Pokemon card or a shiny, depending on what you call it, where you are in the world, and then get like an alcoholic rub and then rub away all of the writing and the numbers and the letters, and then paint the rest of the card kind of stuff. I love that sort of shit where you got an artist that changes it from a card to just a little piece of art. So seeing like that's effectively what that is, but in 3D sort of real time. It's not just a static piece of art. You fucking jump into it and see it move around. Is cool.
So you get to see other shiny cards like this Charmander. So you can get normal ones, then you can also get like different variants. So I've got quite a few variants of really, really nice cards. So they do this thing called Flair that if you get duplicates of the same card, you can change the artwork. So if you get like 5 of a particular card, you'll use some Stardust and you can change the image on the card to something else. I haven't got that many duplicates yet for me to be able to change it, so I don't actually know what it does. That was just part of the tutorial stuff when you first booted it up. But yeah, like got this nice Bulbasaur card. Obviously the king.
You just showed the kick, by the way. That was Charmander, but there you go.
But yeah, honestly, it's a really, really, really good game so far. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I've obviously been opening packs. Not spent any money or anything yet. I've just done my dailies, and then I'm friends with Ravi and Show, which then give me these countdown timers. So you can open a pack every 12 hours, and if you do some challenges, you'll get some like sand timers that reduce the time. So I got to open like 5 or 6 cards last night, which is one of the packs that Mewtwo was in. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's a really, really, really good game. If you played the TCG before, the one that's been out for years, they changed it to TCG Live, which is amazing if you've played that on desktop. But this basically,
what genre is it? Is it a TCG or
yeah? So you can battle on this against friends or just random people on the internet. So they give you daily challenges that you can go in and be able to do to get some more whatever it is that they're giving away. You can unlock decks by doing challenges and things, and then you just go online to battle people as well. But I love games like this. I love TCG games, and the best ones are usually the Pokemon ones. So yeah, this is right on my street. If you've not played it, definitely give it a try if you're into Pokemon, because again, it's free to be able to try it. And collecting Pokemon cards is great, but using and battling the cards that you've got against other people is even better.
If you are listening to the podcast, by the way, I am not going to read out Bibby's friend code because it's about 75,000 characters.
I'll post on Twitter in a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to say, or drop into the Discord. Feel free to chat to us there. It's in the video on Twitch and on YouTube, but the by the time I've got 15 characters in, you'll be like, what was the second one? I'll be like, so I'm not going to bother. I am going to stop with that news article there, though, which does mean that I need to then just mention the fact that I've had 2 messages in that. 12head messaged me, which is, so when I asked you what genre it was, 12head says, try and get Bib to say genre. He puts a twang on it. So when I asked you, there you go, say it again.
Genre. Olympic
Lyon. So yeah, there you go. So I asked you, I thought you'd be like, do you know what genre? Yeah, it's kind of. You just went, yeah, it is. I was like, fuck.
He just texts me now, say genre. Why are you telling me?
Do you know what? While Bibby says genre a few more times, I'm going to jump us over to our final stories of the day because I need to wrap things up. But it is !FF.
Free game Friday.
Nice. Free Game Friday. So we tell you what games you can get for PC and or console every week. Usually it's PC, but today we have a little bit extra for console too. So if you are on PC, we tell you the Epic Game Store freebie every week. This week, thanks to PC Gamer, that's Morgan Park, Sarah Richter, Lincoln Carpenter, and other people, you can get from October 31st to November 7th, Witch It and Ghostwire Tokyo. So just in time for Halloween, Epic has Witch It up for free, a multiplayer game of hide and seek where a team of witches try to hide from a team of hunters. Like the classic prop hunt that inspired it, the team of witches can turn into a wide variety of objects to hide in plain sight. Plus, both sides have their own powers and abilities to make messing with your friends better than ever. If that's not your fancy, Ghostwire Tokyo is also free, letting you take on a haunted version of Tokyo with spirits and powers of your very own. So two very Halloween-y sort of games there. Witch It and Ghostwire Tokyo, both on PC, both via the Epic Game Store. Just going to jump over to this screen for 1 second while I switch things up. So if you're not on PC and you think, oh, that's a bit of me, that I could have a bit of that. Well, you're within luck because the PS Plus monthly games have been announced. If you're an Xbox user, by the way, get a proper console or a PC, whatever. No, I'm only joking. We don't have anything for Xbox. Yeah, exactly. Goddamn. Yeah, the PS blog has announced also. This was announced just yesterday, no, day before yesterday. PlayStation Plus monthly games for November are Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Turbocharged is the subtitle on that. Ghostwire Tokyo. So if you're on PC and PlayStation, you get the game free. I think it's on Game Pass anyway. So anyone that's got an Xbox has got Game Pass, right? And also Death Note Killer Within, which is a day one release on PS Plus as well. So if you are interested in anime games, particularly Death Note, then that I imagine will be big. I know Flynn in the office, he's a big anime/Death Note fan and was buzzing at the fact that it's out day one, free to play for all PlayStation Plus subs. So nice. There you go. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, Ghostwire Tokyo, Death Note Killer Within, all playable November 5th on PS. Just make sure if you are jumping in for the Epic Games freebies, you have to get them before Thursday. That's the 7th. They go off about 4 p.m. UK time. I don't know if that changes with daylight savings or anything, but yeah, make sure you get them now. That way you've got them. Nice. Nice. We do have a confirmation that Ruben Amorim has confirmed as United manager starting on the 11th of November. So 10 more days.
I'm
Easy. Yeah.
So you get 2 more weekends of Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Nice.
You see, we get the new manager bounce before we get that new manager bounce again. Nice. And then by Christmas, we might make it up to 11th place or something like that. Let's go, baby. Yeah, fun times. Yes. Okay. Going to wrap things up there. For anyone that missed it, a quick recap of what we spoke about, should you want to jump back through and check it out. But Sony has shut down Concord developer Firewalk Studios and also another developer, Neon Koi, at the same time. Actually, do you know what? We've missed an article. We've missed one. I've jumped and missed out completely. This is the Xbox bias and stuff within it. Do you know what? I'll give you a quick top line look at this. You know, it's not like we're Call of Duty partners or anything, goddamn. But Black Ops 6 launch was the biggest Call of Duty released ever, Microsoft claims, setting a record for day one players as well as Game Pass subscribers. Nice. We don't really need to go into that. So if we're going to miss an article, that's probably the best one. But to absolutely no one's surprise, Call of Duty is successful. God damn. I mean, is it because Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is exceptional in itself, or is it because it was free for a large number of people on day one? Could that have been a big part of it? Who knows? What are your thoughts, Mr. B?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, this is what they needed and what they wanted, to be honest, right? Like, this was a huge gamble for them to put this game on Game Pass, but this is where the money's going to be made from it, right? Like, it's something that I mentioned last week when I was doing it as a dog, because it was the lead and headline that I went with. But they've got to think from a consumer standpoint. I think to get Ultimate, it's like £13 a month or something like that. So if you get one person that plays it for 1 month and then dislikes it, that's £13. Whereas that person may well have spent £75 on this game in the store. So they're obviously missing out on 50 quid, on more than 50 quid. So it's a massive gamble for them. I think there was hoping that people might end up subscribing for a year, so they've got that guaranteed money right there, and then not just playing that game, but they'll get their numbers across playing any of the other games that are on Game Pass as well. So it's a kind of a win-win there. But this is what they put that on there day one. They want people to go in and play this game to have the biggest peak numbers-wise that Call of Duty will ever have, and I think it's something that's paid off now. It's paid off in the short term. I think we need to revise this and look back over like February, March next year, obviously after the Christmas period. Because between now and leading up to Christmas, obviously people are going to be getting consoles for Christmas, or they're going to have a lot more free time. So the numbers there will obviously go up anyway. But when it comes to February, March next year, we can start to see whether or not those people who have subscribed just to play Call of Duty are still subscribing and not just playing Call of Duty, playing something else as well. Because ultimately, if more people play stuff on Game Pass, it becomes much more of a viable option for them to be able to sell Game Pass to game developers, to publishers, and just say, look, we've got this many people playing all of these games across our subscription service. Do you want to be part of it? And it's such an easy sell then. Not that it isn't an easy sell as it is now, because it still is the best value in video games. But yeah, being alongside Call of Duty, does it dilute everything else that's on Game Pass at this moment in time? Because that's all everyone wants to play. It's the long game that they're hoping for, and at the moment, in the short term, it's a massive gain. So yeah, I think the next 6 months is going to be very telling for what Activision Blizzard end up doing with this game on Game Pass. It's going to stay there regardless, but whether or not Game Pass ends up going up in price to make up for the losses that they may have had with this game going on there, I'm not too sure.
What's interesting for me is that by this time next year, we will have seen whether Call of Duty has been one of the number one selling games across the course of the year. Because the last few years, Call of Duty has had 2 games in the top 10 selling games. I don't know if all the time, but pretty regularly. You'll get like a Modern Warfare 2 and a Black Ops 5 or whatever that will be 2 and 3 or 1 and 3 or something like that in the top selling games. If we don't have any Call of Duties in that will have been bastardized because everyone's got it already. But I know they were talking numbers like 2 million increase in Game Pass subs off the back of this. If they get 2 million increase and they keep that throughout the whole year and so on, then that's a huge chunk of cash. Plus, then you've got the additional revenue from microtransactions and so on. It will be interesting, though, if in 12 to 18 months' time, if we see the price of Game Pass going up or we see services being taken back, that is them realizing that, okay, the chips are stacking, but they're not balancing, so we need to adjust things to make it work. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway, we're going to have to put a pin in that. I do need to wrap things up now. So, yes, there you go. A quick roundup of the news. Black Ops, the biggest launch ever for Microsoft. Sony has shut down Firewalk Studios developer. There's actually another article that's just been posted on VGC about that, which says Sony closed Concord studio, Firewalk Games, to further its monopoly in games, according to a Labour body. I haven't read on it, so if you want more on that story, go and check it out for yourself. It's on VGC right now. It's their number one story. But after that, Pokémon TCG Pocket is out now on mobile, and you can play with Bib. Nice.
Yay.
And then there's free games, including Ghostwire Tokyo on PC and console. Get it now. It's free. Nice. But for now, we're going to wrap things up. Are we back tonight with games, Bib? I say we. I mean, that was a royal we, but we.
Yes, we are. I've already spoken to Fixer. He said 8 p.m. Don't be late.
Nice.
That's his words, not mine.
Nice. Okay. ICF. That's Ice Cream Fix Up Look Sharp, baby. So back tonight, 8 p.m. Twitch.tv/Ice Cream. If you want to catch some FC25 content, then feel free to jump in. Join us then. Nice. Nice. I should be back tomorrow. I might be on and off. I might be off completely. I don't know. I have an engineer coming out to look at and hopefully change my router between 12 and 4 tomorrow. So I usually go live between 10 and 2, 3, 4-ish, depending on what the day looks like for us. So that's obviously right in the middle of that sort of window. So I might go live for a couple of hours. They often turn up early and stuff, so I might not go live until the arse end of it. But I will keep you posted in the Discord. So keep your eyes on that. Anyway, exclamation mark Discord if you haven't got it. But before we go, is there anything you'd like to add, Mr. Bib?
Yes, thank you very much for joining us for another episode of The Scoop this week. If you want to help shape our show next Friday, there's 2 ways you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. That's Ice Cream Motors across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and opinions. We will then give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will be at what time? Next Friday, Mr. Graham.
10 a.m.
Ish. Mate, 10 a.m.-ish. We'll be back 10 a.m.-ish next week with...
I nearly forgot about it today.
Yeah, never mind. Nobody's done with it. Yeah, we're going to disappear now. Stick around for the raid. We're going to pass you over to one of our friends. But until next week, stay frosty.